A basketball player has never been number one when fans voted for All-Star and then didn't make the All-Star team until now. That player is LaMelo Ball. The NBA says people don't watch their games enough and the All-Star game is getting boring. So they change how it works every year. Now, the number one player that fans wanted to see isn't even in the game. What's the point of letting fans vote then? I'm not even a huge LaMelo Ball fan, but it's pretty clear that something is wrong here. So how did LaMelo Ball get so much love from the fans and from the players too and still not make the team? Well, we know why, and it's really messed up. So here's how the voting worked. Fans voted, and he was number one among East guards. Players voted, and he was number 3, only behind Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson. But the media voted him number 7. They thought Trae Young, Cade Cunningham, and Darius Garland were all better choices, so the media really hurt LaMelo. But they only pick who starts the game. Then 1 week later, the bench players were announced. Those are picked by coaches, and that voting is kept secret. Now, we'll explain why coaches seem to hate LaMelo's style of playing, but this happened because of something that went down way back in 2016. But no one was more excited that Skims started making men's underwear than my wife. And it's got nothing to do with me actually wearing them, okay? She's been buying their stuff for years, and she knew it would be really good quality. Well, guess what? After trying Skims for a few weeks, it really lives up to all the hype. By far, the most comfortable, best-fitting underwear I have ever had. My biggest problem usually with boxer briefs is that they ride up, but not Skims. Even if I'm wearing skinny jeans, which I still do sometimes. And my favorite so far has been the cotton boxer brief. Everything I love about my old cotton boxer briefs, but way better. The fit is perfect, that classic cotton feel, and yes, my wife actually thinks it's cool that I'm wearing Skims, which I gotta be honest is a pretty cool bonus that only comes with Skims. So click on the link below to shop Skims men's stuff. And after you order, be sure to let them know that I sent you. Pick YouTube in the survey and be sure to pick my channel AM Hoops in the menu that comes up. And if you're looking for the perfect gift for your Valentine or for yourself, Skims just started their best Valentine shop ever. You can get sizes for women, men, kids, and even pets. A random bench player named Zaza Pachulia was near the top of fan voting to be an all-star starter. And I only say random because this was before he played for the Warriors. Okay. Casual fans did not know Dallas Mavericks, Zaza Pachulia, but his home country of Georgia did. And there was this huge push to make this guy an all-star starter. So everyone was shocked that some dude scoring 8 points a game might start the all-star game. He had more votes than Draymond Green, Tim Duncan, Blake Griffin, and Anthony Davis. But then it became like a joke, okay? Almost like a game where people were like, yeah, let's get this bench player into the all-star game. That'll be fun. So people were all talking on social media. Wyclef Ranking John made a song about it. But Zaza missed, starting by just a tiny bit under 15,000 votes. That is nothing. So the next year, the NBA was like, oh, you think it's funny to mess with our all-star game? No more. Fans cannot vote for all-star starters. They can't be trusted. So the next year, they went to a split vote where 50% comes from the fans, 25% from players, and 25% from media. Oh, by the way, that next year, Zaza joined the Warriors, and he would have been a starter if they didn't change that rule. And the same thing happened to LaMelo, but coaches said no. Why? Well, if you look at his numbers, LaMelo averages over 28 points a game, fourth most in the NBA, over 7 assists, ninth most in the NBA, over 5 rebounds, which is 13th in the league among guards. Simply put, LaMelo averages more points, rebounds, and assists than every other East bench player, and he's not an all-star. Why? Because of a different number wins. The Charlotte Hornets just happen to be a 12-win team this year. A lot of coaches and media see LaMelo as a show-off and not a serious player. He doesn't actually win games. They think his stats don't mean anything and he's kind of a joke. On the other side, the Cleveland Cavaliers got 3 All-Stars because of their record. But forget LaMelo's popularity. There's another reason that's ridiculous. Do they really think that if LaMelo got to play with Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Evan Mobley, that he would be bad? Or would he be an all-star? Instead, he's on a team with 0 other guys who can create plays. LaMelo has to create the offense for himself and all his teammates. Oh yes, Miles Bridges can sometimes create his own shot, but he's not setting up plays for LaMelo. Brandon Miller is decent, but he is hurt for the season. So LaMelo is just one of 5 guys on the floor at any time, one of 10 guys throughout the game, and it's his fault. The team manager puts average teammates around him, and that's his fault. Oh, and NBA defenses know that LaMelo has to run everything. They plan for it, and he still gets these numbers. It's crazy. But I won't do the thing where I say that LaMelo should be in the All-Star game, but I don't say who he would replace. It's so easy to list 5 players who got snubbed as if there are 5 extra spots. No, LaMelo probably should have replaced Evan Mobley. He's obviously having a great season, but it's either him or Pascal. And I think that Pascal would be great no matter what team he's on. But Evan gets a major boost here from being on the Cavaliers. If there is one guy that you'd say got here, partly because of his team, it would have to be Evan Mobley. And no offense to him, but going by the logic that I just explained earlier, Mobley has to be the one guy that I would have to kick off. But there's another way for LaMelo to still be an all-star. He is dealing with an ankle injury, so that needs to heal. But after that, he needs somebody else to get hurt to be an injury replacement. This is how De'Aaron Fox made his only all-star game. Same with Scotty Barnes last year. Now, Commissioner Adam Silver actually picks these so I would think that he'd be smart enough to pick LaMelo to make the fans happy. But who else could he pick instead? Because it's no guarantee that, well, there's a real chance he picks Trae Young over LaMelo. Trae has always been a great individual player, but has now missed All-Star 4 of his 7 years in the NBA. He even said on Twitter, yeah, it's no longer getting snubbed, it's getting tread at this point. I don't know about that, but he is a very similar situation to Trae leads the NBA in assists at 11.4 per game, so great counting stats, but he's not efficient. He turns the ball over and doesn't lead to winning. However, unlike LaMelo, Trae has teammates who are playing really well. I mean, Jalen Johnson was amazing before his injury. DeAndre Hunter and Dyson Daniels are playing great, but the Hawks are below Go Hyaku. What is Trae's excuse? But while we're talking about players who got snubbed, there is one guy who probably deserves to be an all-star, even more than LaMelo. What if I told you that the only players in history with 21 points per game, 61% shooting, and 15 rebounds per night are Wilt Chamberlain and Domantas Sabonis, and he's not an all-star. Domas leads the NBA in a ton of advanced stats and rebounding but I think the Mike Brown scandal hurt him. Coaches do not want to reward the team who fired Mike Brown that way. When that dude got fired, coaches were mad at the Kings because they love Mike Brown. So, are they going to make a king an all-star and make that owner happy? No. Instead, they put Alperen Sengun in there, who I love being in Houston, but dude shoots 49% from the field. Dom shoots 45% from three. It is ridiculous that he's not an all-star, but a guy like James Harden is. Now, other possible snubs are Kyrie Irving, Norman Powell, Devin Booker, and De'Aaron Fox in the West. And really, I could only say Tyrese Maxey in the East, but I totally get those. I can't make the case to kick off 5 guys to get all of these guys in, but I think you can make the case for LaMelo Ball replacing somebody like Evan Mobley, because even if you don't love LaMelo, well, the NBA complains about ratings and the All-Star game dying. It is crazy that they don't put the one guy that fans really want to see in the game, but we might see De'Aaron Fox leave the Kings soon. This time of year, of course, is all about All-Stars and trade deadlines coming up soon. De'Aaron tells the Kings to trade him before it's too late, but he might have messed himself up with what he did next